Hello, Capricorn, and welcome into your reading for the first half of October. Today, we'll be taking a look at your job and career, love and relationships, and then also life path and mission. So before we jump into that part, let's go ahead and pull a card here. This is from the crystal deck to see what crystals the divine encourages you to work with for the first half of the month. And this is kind of a neat deck. It's one of those ones with QR codes on the back of all the cards. So when you follow the link, it'll give you different sounds or music to listen to while you're meditating. And there's more cards in here. I just pulled out the ones that are crystal related. So you have Ruby, which is rootedness, vitality, and manifestation. So that would be a good one for you to work with during the first half of the month. So let's go ahead and jump in then. And, not with those. We're going to take a look at the overall energy first. So we'll pull a few cards and see what we're seeing for the first half of the month for you. And this is the overall energetic read. A couple things that are happening on the 10th is the end of Pluto retrograde, so it's going to be going direct, and then you're going to notice your transformations are picking back up. So, as it relates to, Pluto being the destroyer, where it's breaking down things that are no longer working for you. When it was in retrograde, it may have been putting you into a thinking mode, but not much of a doing mode, so you'll start to see some of those transformations picking back up. Also, on the 14th, the big thing that's happening in the first half of the month is we do have our solar eclipse in Libra, and that's going to be the time that's going to inspire us to be reflecting on our relationships and to be practicing self-love and working on healing our emotional wounds. So as you're focusing on your relationship, the idea there is, make sure you're balancing out taking care of the needs of other people with taking care of yourself. So really meditate, journal, work on grounding. So maybe that's going for walks in the park or on the beach or just sitting outside and enjoying the fresh air a little bit. So working on that grounding. So our cards that we came up with, the overall energy, we have our Knight of Pentacles here. I'll show you the card since this is a little bit of a different deck. Five of Cups in reverse. And then we have our Four of Pentacles. So overall, in terms of the way the energy is feeling, this Four of Pentacles is about that security and kind of stability, a little bit of like materialism and possessiveness, but there is a sense of security that happens there. And then with your Knight of Pentacles, that's your hard work and your patience and your efficiency. So you're working hard and you're gaining some financial stability. Then with your Five of Cups in reverse energy, it's that energy of like moving on and turning a corner and finding acceptance. So let's see kind of what that is related to as we dive into the different areas that I had mentioned at the beginning. So a couple other things that are happening in the first half of the month. On the 8th, we have Venus entering Virgo. And so that's kind of about taking things a little bit more seriously, paying close attention to the people that you care about. And then on the 12th, we have Mars entering Scorpio. So Scorpio is that passionate, intense, kind of unrelenting sign. So this is a good time on the 12th. That's, or around then, that is a good time to kind of use that energy to come back from defeat, to use your willpower to create change. So it's very passionate, very intense. So you can use that energy to kind of create some of that change. But let's go ahead and take a look at jobs and careers first. So in the recent past, we have Knight of Swords, currently sitting in Nine of Pentacles energy. And the next level of energy or like future outcome is the Emperor. So in the recent past, with your Knight of Swords in reverse energy, that's kind of that sense of you've maybe missed some opportunities. You've been maybe a little bit unfocused, like a lack of direction at work. So things may have come up. There may have been some good chances for you to either work on something new, get to work with other people, work on a different client or project, and that's kind of passed you by, like you missed that chance because you weren't really focused and you were maybe a little too scattered. You're currently sitting in this sense of independence and reward associated with that, and kind of being self-reliant. So this may have been a chance to get to work on a team or work with other people, and you were kind of more in like doing your own thing, so you miss some of those chances. And this, this Knight of Pentacles energy, like this hard work and patience, it kind of goes along here with your Nine of Pentacles, that there is that sense of reward. Like you're working hard, there is that sense of reward. And the next level of energy coming in, this is that strong masculine, like that really driven energy, that, solid foundation. I'm the leader here. I'm the one who's determining my future, my fate, So overall, it's that energy at work. I think it's kind of that successful, I'll call it alpha male type of energy. Like you're driven, you're getting things done. You may have missed some opportunities, but you're still sitting in this kind of positive. It's not necessarily a warm and fuzzy feeling about your job. It's almost more of this is what I'm doing. I'm getting my job done. So it could be something where you're very successful in your career, and it's that focus driven, you're that rainmaker salesperson, you're getting things done type of thing. So let's take a look at love and relationships and see what we have there. All right. In the recent past, we have Ace of Swords in reverse, currently sitting in the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and Ten of Wands as the next level of energy. So in the recent past on your relationship, there's been some confusion and kind of a loss of focus and chaos there. So it's almost like, when we have this Knight of Swords in reverse, you kind of lost some direction there. Well, you've been losing focus on your personal relationships too. And this Seven of Pentacles in reverse is the sense of like, you're not really putting in the time. You're kind of almost like abandoning the relationship, and it's pushing you into this sense of being like overburdened, and you're struggling with it. Like you feel like you have this responsibility to the relationship, but it's almost like the passion in the heart has gone out of it. Like the feeling that I'm getting is that you're very distracted with, I'm making my mark at work, and the relationship part just isn't really all that meaningful for you. And that's in the first half of October. And so, like I said, with Venus entering Virgo on the 8th, and about taking your relationships more seriously, like paying close attention to the people that you care about. It's almost that reminder of, hey, don't get so sidetracked up here that you forget about your relationships, because where you're putting your energy is an indicator to people around you as to what your priority is. So, it's one thing, emergencies or situations come up where it pulls your energy, but it almost feels like this has kind of been a path for a while. Like, you're so focused on trying to build this career, build this name for yourself at work, that there's a sense of, we'll just see kind of what happens here, because there's like some confusion and some chaos in the relationship. Maybe feeling like you're in this lack of effort mode. And some of it could be that this is, if there has been confusions or fights or arguments, it just kind of puts you in that, I don't have the energy for this anymore. I need to focus on something else. But let's pull out a couple more cards and see what things look like closer to the end of the year. So call it in the 2 to 4 month time frame. So we have Death in reverse, and we have the Two of Swords. So the Death in reverse card is about like resisting change, and it has this element of loss to it, and there's some inevitable change, but there's like this lack of movement. So when the Death card is in the upright position, it's that sense of we're closing out chapters, we're ending something. But when it's in reverse, it's almost like, yeah, that's supposed to happen, but nah, not really doing anything about it. Like, I'm going to resist having that change happen. So that's the next level of energy coming in. And then this Two of Swords that's about having a tough decision to make. Like, you have a split loyalty, you don't know which direction to go. So it's almost coming across as like your partner is getting frustrated by this scenario at work where you're just pouring all this time into it, and it's coming down to, okay, what's more important to you, me or my job, or like me or your job? And you're in that point of really kind of thinking about it, like which one is, which one is the one that I want to go towards? Because like I said, it seems like from a job perspective, this isn't necessarily really like a passionate feel about the job, but there's also, it seems like there's not this strong message of passion across the relationships side either. So let's pull a timing card to see, when is this decision going to be made? So it looks like it's coming to decision time, but when is that decision going to be made or being pushed to be made? Once you forgive yourself is when you're going to make that decision. So it's going to be about, forgiving yourself. So if you're hiding here because you don't want to deal with an uncomfortable situation at home, like once you forgive yourself and acknowledge what you're doing, then you'll be able to make a decision. Or once you decide, like, hey, I should have been putting in more effort, I should have been doing something differently on the relationship perspective, but I forgive myself, I was doing the best I could, then you're going to be at that point of needing to make a decision. Like, based on that, you've forgiven yourself, but based on that, what do you do moving forward about it? All right, let's take a look at life path and mission and see what comes up there for you. All right, in the recent past, we have the Tower in reverse, currently sitting in the Five of Cups in reverse, with the Five of Wands in reverse as the next level of energy. So fives are about change. So it looks like there's some changes to what you feel like your life path or your mission is. With the Tower in reverse, again, this is about, you've been resisting some sort of change. You've been having a fear of letting go of whatever you thought your life path was. And so it's like you've come to a realization that maybe you weren't on the right path, but you're having a hard time letting go of what that you thought that was. And so then with your Five of Cups in reverse, you're kind of at a state now where it's like you're finding some acceptance to that. You're turning the corner, moving on. And then the next level that's going to be coming in is like that sense of resolution and peace and solution. So you've realized you've been clinging to something that wasn't really your path, wasn't really your calling, but you're accepting that and kind of moving on. And, it almost feels more like it's going with this relationship, like that you thought that was your life path, was to be with this person. And you're kind of starting to accept the fact that that's not really the case. And so that's why you're abandoning it and like feeling like you've been feeling unrewarded. And you're at that point of saying, you know what? No, but it's going to create some stress and some sense of like duty and obligation and being like overburdened as you try to exit out of that. So that's the feel that's coming through, is that this sense of resisting that change is related to this relationship. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other oracle cards and see what is coming up. And if there's other messages to be had here. So first, we'll take a look at our Gaia card. Purification, fire, bare essentials, the naked truth, and wholeness. So sometimes when you're at a place where you're resisting some of these changes and you're having a hard time letting go, there's that sense of, I don't know what things look like on the other side of that. I don't know what I look like without, this person in my life. I don't know what I look like without this job. I don't know what I look like if I start to distance myself more from my family, whatever the case may be, or your social circle. Maybe your social circle is getting to the point where it's like, wait a second, I don't share the same values as these people anymore, but I've always had these people in my life. And sometimes as you go through different phases in life, especially if you're having, like if you're on a soul ascension journey, as you grow, some of the people don't grow with you. And, if it was high school friends or college friends that you're still hanging out with. At some point, it's like, wait a second, I'm in my whatever, my late 20s, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s. Like, why, I don't have things in common with the people that I ran around with when I was 15 years old or 18 years old. So there is kind of that naked truth of, does this still align with me? So sometimes there's an element of that to consider. All right, let's pull a light worker card. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. So with that soul tribe part, as you grow on your journey, as you ascend, as you learn your lessons, as you grow spiritually, you're going to start to naturally kind of gather in your soul tribe. Once you start vibrating at certain frequencies, you're going to be calling in other people that are at that same vibration. So sometimes when there's people that are no longer at your same vibration, and it is sad, that is a loss, that experiencing grief if there's relationships like friendships that are kind of falling to the wayside. But be mindful of what new people are coming into your energy field, because they're coming in based on your energy now, versus some of these people that have been in your life forever. Maybe they came into your life at whatever your frequency was 30 years ago, and that's not still you. All right, let's take a look here. Follow through. So a lot of that, and we're going to put that here with this purification card, that once you kind of figure out where it is that you need to go and what are your essentials, what do you need moving forward in your life to be happy, then you have to follow through on that. Because if part of it is, needing to let maybe it's certain hobbies, maybe it's certain friendship circles, maybe it's certain, I don't know if jobs would be the right word, but if some of those things need to go so that you can align more easily and more naturally with who you are, you need to follow through on that, because otherwise it does create more angst and more issues for you. If you identify, hey, this is something I need to change, I need to let go of, but then you don't follow through on it, it's almost like that creates more of a sense of internal conflict, because now you know that you need to do it, and you just don't follow through. So then it's like those levels of, I'm not strong enough to follow through. And so it causes other like ripple effects there. So, so that's what's coming through today in terms of the message for the Capricorns out there. And I hope you found this message to be helpful. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So there will be some additional new videos posting this week. Some of those, is this your person readings, pick a pile. I'm also going to be doing a special one coming up soon for the eclipse. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you can be alerted when those new videos post. And as always, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.